Hello YouTube. So today I'm coming to you with for those of you who have been following my channel, and for those of you who have not been following it, I have a video or two or three up about my mortgage company screwing up. That was such a pain in the keister because they were screwing me out of a lot of money and trying to take my house away from me when they had no more legal claim to it. I put up two or three emails and I got them to acknowledge that, oh, hey, we're stupid and we can't do third grade math, and they relented and gave me a huge refund and gave me the deed to my mortgage, deed to the title to my property. So I own that property outright legally now, and they have relented their aggressions against me. Today is something similar but different. I have been a member of Navy Federal Credit Union for about 40 years now. And for 40 years, or however long computers have been around, I've been on the Navy Federal website asking questions quite often. And over the past 40 years, they have maybe answered, well, let's put it like this. They have answered less than a handful. So fewer than five. Fewer than five questions have been answered appropriately at all over the past 40 years, with the exceptions of the past couple of months. Now, that said, I didn't say anything to them because over the years I have really lambasted them for being stupid. And I'll never forget it. One Mr. Montalove, who should have been fired on the spot, told me that my attitude would affect the way that I dealt with Navy Federal or did business with Navy Federal in the future. So I took his little response. I went down to a branch office, which where I am currently, there are no branch offices within 8,000 miles of me. But I used to live within 2 miles of a branch office, and I went to that branch office, and the manager instantly saw the error. This is after months of arguing with Navy Federal over their system. He instantly saw the error and had it corrected in 5 seconds. Nothing, as far as I know, ever happened to Mr. Montalove, the idiot. Well, a couple of months ago, they started answering all of my questions, Jimmy on the spot, 100% correct, and I didn't say anything because I did not want to curse it. Well, we're back again. It looks like they got the old crew back in there, because on 8/27, I come in and I said, hey, you know what? I noticed my auto pay was spooling. I don't know why I used the word off there. My auto pay was spooling. I had a huge balance. I got auto pay and I had it set and it was going out. So being Sunday, I knew that it wouldn't go out for a day or two, maybe even 3. But on Thursday, it still had not gone out, and there wasn't even a mention saying, hey, on this day we tried to send this payment out but failed. It wasn't there. And I said, why did you decide not to make my payment? And then I put in parentheses here, fully anticipating what their answer would be. Yes, there was double the amount of money needed for you to be able to pull from. So why did you stop making the payment? For real. Give me the real answer. That's all I want to know is the real answer. Here's the response. Thank you for your e-message, Nobody7817. I'm not giving you any PII here. I'm trying not to anyway. PII, by the way, stands for Personally Identifiable Information. Upon review of your account, our records indicate there was a one-time payment set for this date. Please be advised that your statement balance and minimum payment was already covered on 8/4/25 with a large payment. Yes, I know I made that payment, but guess what? There's a hell of a lot of days between 8/4 and 8/25, and I can show you that in a minute. And I'm going to have to figure out how to edit this thing because I'm not going to give you any personally identifiable information if I can keep from it. When a scheduled payment is set for the statement balance or minimum is met, it has already been satisfied. The scheduled payment will not go through. We regret for any inconvenience this may cause. If we can be of assistance, further assistance, please let us know. All right. If it were true, and I'm going to say if, that word if is a very loosely used word. If that were true, that would be a reasonable explanation. But it's not true. And I point that out. I sat here and said, so no. That should pay off the balance. And it was spooled. I saw it. It was there. I've done this 1,000 times before, and never has this happened. Remember, I've been with them for 40 years. And you can figure 12 times 40, maybe not 1,000 times, but I've done it a lot of times. So look again at the last 10 words of my original post. I even quote it for them. So why did you stop making the payment for real? For real. You're back to answering questions incorrectly like you did the previous 40 years. You got them all correct the past few months. Why are you reverting to being wrong again? It is a great thing that I was actually watching you. I was babysitting them. Otherwise, you and I would have had a huge discussion about why I would be suing you for the interest that you would have illegally charged me due to your screw-up. Best to get a second-line supervisor to address this question since you don't have the correct answer. Now, I obviously tipped a point with them. They realized, oh crap, our first answer was wrong. We're a bunch of morons. Let's make up something totally irrelevant. Thank you, Nobody 7817. We cannot find a record of a payment being made and then stopped. No, because you've got a problem on your platform and you didn't get the software engineers involved. That's where you need to go. Get your damn software engineers involved. I know what the problem is. I absolutely know what the problem is, but I'm not going to do their fucking homework for them. Please note that our records show that your Go Rewards MasterCard account statement was a balance of $31.69. Really? Okay, so here we are at 22 August, and I have, well actually here we are down here at 19 August. I paid some taxes. You see that DeKalb thing there? That's DeKalb County taxes. $37,000. About 100 times more, over 100 times more than what they said it was. The credit card agreement and disclosure provided upon establishment of an account. Don't treat me like a moron. I know what these things say, probably better than you fucking do. That we will not charge you any interest on purchases if your entire balance is paid off by the due date each month. This is before the due date. 19 August is before the due date. Since a payment in the amount of $31.69, the same amount of your statement balance, really? What's this balance over here? $37,000. Posted on 8/8 this date is 8/19. It is not possible that you would have been charged interest. Could they have been more wrong? Could they have been more wrong? I am asking you, could they have been more wrong? I'll tell you why they're wrong. They didn't bother looking at this. They didn't even bother opening this up to look at it. They're a bunch of morons for the current billing cycle. If you have further questions, please let us know. So I let them have it last night. I was a little bit tipsy on this one, and I'm a little bit tipsy now. So it was definitely, and I probably misspelled definitely, it doesn't look spelled correctly. It was definitely showing, do not treat me like I am clueless. I obviously know more about banking than you ever will. I obviously do, really. Come on, look at the date. Look at the date, August the 19th, 37,000. I obviously know more than they do. I am well aware of when interest is charged, but I said I almost wasn't babysitting you anymore, didn't I? Looks like I need to start babysitting you again. And yes, you would have charged me on nearly $4,000 worth of stuff had that had accumulated through the month. Man, do you even read your own answers? What happened to the intelligent people that were answering these messages the last couple of months? Do you realize that if I make a YouTube video, well, guess what? I'm making that video of this question and the answer thread, how extremely uneducated you will look? Really? Do I need to make a YouTube video for you like I did for my mortgage company? Because they couldn't do third grade math either? All right, so let me clarify that. I'm saying that they can't do third grade math. Their actual functioning of the figures in here appear to be correct. I haven't gone through that. I probably should. But the functioning looks close enough. It's not thousands and thousands of dollars off like my mortgage company was. But where they're failing is in, well, it's a little bit of English and math. Because up here, these complete and total morons tell me that, oh, your credit card agreement and disclosure, well, yeah, I know what it says. But did you even read it yourself? Do you even know what the cutoff date is? Did you look at my account? Did you do anything other than try to make up a fictitious answer to give to me? Because here on 19 August 2025, this thing, which was made, I do believe, on 17 or 16 August, has already posted to my account, bringing my balance up to $3,000, $3,700. And before that, and for days before that, it was over a few $100. It was not $3,169. The moron that answered this question did not even look up my account. Did not even try to think about it. My bank for 40 years, with the exception of a few sporadic times over those 40 years and an entire 2 or 3 congruous months, has treated me like a moron. Now, for those last couple of months, I got treated the way that I expect to be treated, the way that they should treat me. Now, to be honest with you, I run a help desk. And if I ran my help desk the way they run theirs, I would have been fired a long time ago. Whoever wrote this asinine statement right here should be fired. I'm not talking about counseled. I'm not talking about given a second chance or a warning. That moron should be fired. They should find the people who answered my questions the last couple of months, make them managers and in charge of hiring other people, and have them hire more people that are as intelligent as they are, and get rid of every one of these morons that cannot answer a question properly. There was a time when it was so bad that I would call them up and say, hey, why did you stop making my bank payment? And they would say, well, hey, sir, we can remedy that right away. We have a very high yield 0.05% APR CD that you can put your money into. I didn't ask about a CD. I didn't ask about making money. I asked about why you stopped making my payment. And they would come in and say, well, sir, if you read your credit card statement, like this guy here did, or this person here did, if you read this agreement and disclosure, you will find that your balance is due at this point of every month. You know what? I didn't ask you about when my balance was due. I asked you why you stopped making my payment. What part of that do you not understand? If you can't speak English, pass it on to somebody else who can. Get that second line supervisor involved because you morons are clueless. All right, I'm putting this out there and I'm going to shoot the link to Navy Federal, and I hope you guys enjoy this.